Jesus heals many sick and oppressed at evening. The story of Jesus healing many sick and oppressed people at evening is recorded in the Gospels, particularly in the books of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. This remarkable event demonstrates Jesus' compassion, divine authority, and the fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy. Let us delve into this narrative and explore its context, significance, and the powerful impact it had on those who witnessed it. The event took place early in Jesus' public ministry, shortly after he called his first disciples and began teaching and performing miracles in Galilee. In particular, the Gospels highlight the day's events leading up to this extraordinary evening. According to Mark 1 verses 21 to 28, Jesus had entered the synagogue in Capernaum on the Sabbath. While there, he taught with authority, astonishing the people. During the service, a man possessed by an unclean spirit cried out, recognizing Jesus as the Holy One of God. Jesus rebuked the spirit, commanding it to come out of the man. The crowd was amazed at his authority over both teaching and unclean spirits. After leaving the synagogue, Jesus went to the house of Simon Peter and Andrew. Simon Peter's mother-in-law was bedridden with a fever. Jesus, full of compassion, took her by the hand, healed her, and lifted her up. She immediately began to serve them, showing her complete restoration. As evening came, the Sabbath ended, and people were free to carry out activities they had refrained from during the day. Word about Jesus' teachings and miracles spread rapidly throughout Capernaum and the surrounding regions. Mark 1 verse 32 states, "That evening, at sundown, they brought to him all who were sick or oppressed by demons." The scene is vividly described in Mark 1 verse 33. The whole city was gathered together at the door. Families brought their loved ones who were suffering from various illnesses, while others came seeking deliverance from demonic oppression. The sheer number of people gathered highlights the desperate hope they placed in Jesus, a hope that he did not disappoint. Jesus, moved by compassion, healed many who were sick with various diseases. Each healing demonstrated his authority over physical ailments, reinforcing his identity as the promised Messiah. For example, some individuals might have suffered from chronic conditions, paralysis, or blindness, and in every case, Jesus' power brought complete and immediate restoration. In addition to healing the sick, Jesus cast out many demons. His authority over the spiritual realm was evident as he silenced the demons, not permitting them to speak because they knew who he was. Mark 1 verse 34. This detail underscores Jesus' control over all creation and his ability to protect those who sought refuge in him. Matthew's account connects this event to the fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy. He took our illnesses and bore our diseases. Matthew 8 verse 17, referencing Isaiah 53 verse 4. This prophecy points to the messianic mission of Jesus, who came to bear humanity's burdens, both physical and spiritual. His healing ministry served as a foretaste of the ultimate healing he would accomplish through his death and resurrection. The people who brought their sick and oppressed to Jesus demonstrated remarkable faith. They believed in his power to heal and trusted him to meet their needs. This faith was often rewarded, as seen throughout the Gospels. Jesus frequently emphasized the importance of faith in receiving healing, as in the case of the woman with the issue of blood, Mark 5 verse 34, and the centurion whose servant was healed, Matthew 8 verse 13. The evening of healing and deliverance had a profound impact on the community. For those who were healed, it was a life-changing encounter with the divine. Families were restored, and individuals were freed from the torment of illness and demonic oppression. The witnesses of these miracles were filled with awe and wonder, leading to a greater recognition of Jesus' divine authority. This event also contributed to the growing popularity of Jesus' ministry. People from neighboring towns and regions sought him out, bringing their sick and afflicted to him. However, the growing crowds also presented challenges, as Jesus often sought solitude to pray and refocus on his mission. Mark 1 verse 35. The story of Jesus healing many sick and oppressed people at evening invites us to reflect on his compassion and power. It reminds us that Jesus cares deeply about human suffering and has the authority to bring healing and restoration. This narrative also challenges us to approach him with faith, trusting in his ability to meet our needs. Moreover, the story highlights the importance of community in bringing others to Jesus. The people of Capernaum demonstrated love and care for their neighbors by bringing them to the one who could truly help. This serves as a model for believers today, encouraging us to intercede for others and point them to Christ. The evening when Jesus healed many sick and oppressed people is a powerful testament to his divine authority, compassion, and fulfillment of prophecy. It reveals his heart for the broken and his ability to bring both physical and spiritual healing. As we consider this story, may we be inspired to seek Jesus with faith, trust in his power, and share his love with those around us. This event is not only a historical account, but also a reminder of the hope and restoration that Jesus offers to all who come to him. Jesus' response to the needs of others reveals his deep compassion. He healed Simon's mother-in-law without hesitation, and when the crowds came with their suffering, he continued to minister to them late into the evening. This shows that Jesus cares deeply about human suffering and is willing to intervene in our lives. This story reminds us to trust in God's care and bring our concerns to him in prayer. Just as Jesus responded to the needs brought to him, we can be confident that he hears and responds to our prayers today. The story highlights Jesus' authority over both physical and spiritual afflictions. By healing diseases and casting out demons, he demonstrated that his power transcends natural and supernatural realms. This reveals his identity as the Messiah and the Son of God. Jesus' power is still available to us today. While physical healing may not always occur in the way we expect, his authority brings spiritual freedom and peace to those who trust in him. Simon's family brought his mother-in-law's condition to Jesus. Similarly, the townspeople brought the sick and oppressed to him, believing in his ability to heal. This act of faith is a model for us, showing that we should not hesitate to bring our needs and the needs of others to Jesus. This story challenges us to intercede for others in prayer, trusting that God can work powerfully in their lives. After being healed, Simon's mother-in-law immediately began serving Jesus and his disciples. This response demonstrates gratitude and the natural outcome of experiencing Jesus' touch. When we experience God's blessings, healing, or intervention, our response should be one of gratitude and service to him and others. This could mean using our time, talents, and resources to help those in need. The healing of the crowds occurred after sunset, marking the end of the Sabbath. The people waited until it was permissible under Jewish law to travel and seek help. Jesus did not turn them away, despite the late hour. This highlights his willingness to meet people where they are, regardless of timing or circumstance. God's timing is perfect, and he is always available to us. Even when we feel it is too late for God to intervene in a situation, this story reminds us that his grace and power are not bound by human schedules or limitations. The story of Jesus healing many sick and oppressed individuals at evening is a powerful reminder of his compassion, authority, and mission. It teaches us to trust in his care, bring our needs to him in faith, and respond to his blessings with gratitude and service. Most importantly, it gives us hope in his power to bring healing and restoration, both now and in the future.